The secret of life has been hunting human mind from long time. There are so many theories and ideas, speculations about the secret of life. So many have people tried to answer this question, but there has been no unanimous conclusion yet. In olden days, the religion has taken the responsibility of explaining origin and afterlife, how the life has begun, and after death, what is happening to life, and also how to define life. But the religion doesn't seem to have come to a unanimous conclusion, and the conclusions that were derived from the religion were based on stories but not on solid provable evidence. So the science has taken the responsibility to explain the origin and definition of life. It's still pursuing the question of afterlife, but there has been no unanimous conclusion which can be proven scientifically to anybody to explain the origin and definition of life as well. Here I am presenting my idea of life. It's not well defined and based on scientific evidence, but this would give you new insight and new idea which the definitions and the explanations till now exist doesn't give you. The definition I am presenting here is completely my own idea and I have not copied it from any other existing sources. Life is an intelligent rhythm which maintains itself and resists any external or internal imbalance, also which grows, ages with time and dies out eventually. Also it has the ability to replicate itself. The theme of this definition is rhythm. Rhythm is a cyclic event which repeats itself over and over again and again. The main theme is rhythm. Rhythm itself is life, but there are some additional characteristics to rhythm of life. It's not a simple rhythm. If you take any mechanical device like an engine has a rhythm. The pistons are beating and the beat is repeating itself over and over again. It can run any machine. It can run a car. It can run a mechanical instrument, or it can do anything, but it doesn't has life in it. So I have added few more characteristics to life. The main characteristics are intelligence. The life is not a mechanical rhythm, it's an intelligent rhythm. So it has ability to maintain itself and resist any internal or external imbalance. So that means I will give you a few examples about the maintenance of the rhythm of life. If you take your body, it maintains a constant temperature. When it feels cold, it seals, it tries to maintain the temperature by blocking the by trapping the air pockets in the skin. If the temperature increases, it tries to reduce the temperature by the function of sweating. Suppose if you run too fast and your heart starts beating at high rate, the heart rate doesn't stay at that pace for long time. It again comes back to normal. So The rhythm maintains the balance. It tries to beat at a certain frequency all the time. If the frequency deviates from the mean value, either up or down, the rhythm inside the body will bring it back to the balance. If you take any mechanical device, it doesn't has the ability to uh, maintain the rhythm by itself, but the life has ability to maintain the rhythm. I will give few examples about the rhythm inside life. Let us take the human body. The main and biggest rhythm visible to naked eye is breathing. The lungs suck the air and extract the oxygen from it, expel the carbon dioxide. Again they suck the air and they repeat the process again and again. This is the main rhythm. And let's take another rhythm, heart beating. Heart pumps the blood, sucks it, pumps, sucks it, and repeats the rhythm again and again. Your digestion system, it takes the food, digests, and again takes the food, digests, and your liver, it takes the toxins and converts them into non-toxic products, and it continues the same function again and again. If you take your pulse, it beats the same frequency again and again. The human being wakes up, has food, it roams, and again sleeps, repeats the same process again and again. So if you see human body, it has so many rhythms, but all the rhythms are functioning as a single entity, like a master rhythm, supporting each other and acting like a single entity instead of a multiple connected entities, and they continue at the same pace or frequency as long as it survives. When it goes out of balance, the complete system collapses and it dies out. So as long as the rhythm in the body is maintained, there is life. When the rhythm breaks out and the beating stops, the life ceases to exist. The main breakthrough idea in my definition is not rhythm, it's response to stimuli. The living organism responds. You can respond to an external stimuli. You can talk, you can walk, run, or do anything at your will. So this is called response to stimuli. In all the mainstream definitions for life available today include this as a function of life. But in my definition, I have separated it from characteristics or function of life. I believe that this is not a function of life. This is something different. As per my idea, the life is totally different entity and the self is totally different entity. The self lives in the life. The response to stimuli, the thing which is responding, which is doing, is different, and the life is different. I have presented my idea about life and self in this diagram. The bigger circle is life and the smaller circle is self, which is living inside the life. The self is you. I don't call it a soul or something. It can be anything which the idea of soul has different meaning. So I'm just keeping it in a simple terms like you, the feeling of ego or you. are the thing which is giving response to the stimuli and listening to the stimuli. The life is which which is supporting and maintaining the rhythm inside the body. The intelligence or the life support, the rhythm supporting the life is totally different. The life is totally different. It has nothing to do with response to stimuli. When your body is running out of energy, you will feel hunger and you will consume some food and forget. You don't know anything about the process of digestion. It's one of the most complicated processes which breaks down your food into individual elements like fructose, glucose, and extracts the energy and fuels your body. But you don't know anything about it. Do you think because of you the digestion process is happening? No, there is something else, some other intelligence in your body which is digesting the food. You don't know anything about breathing process. You will just breathe without your intelligence. Your heart is beating without your intelligence. The total body is running without your knowing. But you will still be thinking like everything is happening because of you. But it's not true. The functions of the body are running by their own with some mysterious intelligence running them at a constant pace and maintaining it very well without your awareness. Let us assume you are running the body. As long as you are awake, your intelligence is up and running. So, it is quite possible that your own intelligence is running the body. But when you asleep, when you go into deep sleep without any dreams, you don't know anything what is going on. But still your body keeps on breathing, your heart is beating, and all the organs of the body are running at perfect health. When you wake up, your body is perfectly in healthy condition. As I explained you, the life is a rhythm and it takes a great deal of intelligence to maintain this rhythm. So when you are asleep, what was maintaining the life inside your body? It's not something that maintains itself. There should be some intelligence in the body. So if you don't know what is maintaining some in the intelligence in your body, definitely it's not you. It's totally different from you, the feeling of self. So this is how I came to this conclusion. The life, the intelligence which is running the rhythm in your body is completely different, isolated from the self which is you. I did not find this conclusion or this idea in either science or religion. The religion tells that there is self and body is different, but the religion still proclaims that the body is running because of self. But I have understood that the life or the body which the religion refers to it is totally different from the self, and the body has the ability to run itself and maintain itself without self, but also self has ability to maintain and run itself without the body. This is my idea. I have another point to prove that life and self are different. If there are two different entities living together, they cannot live together without talking to each other or without communicating to each other. So, there should be some way of communication between the self and life if they are different. If they are not different, this communication doesn't exist. So, let's look into the communication between life and self. The medium of communication between life and self is a feeling. The feeling is different from thinking. When you think, it's not necessary that you will feel. When you feel something, it triggers a biochemical reaction inside the body. The feeling is not, the communication is not one-sided. Self can communicate to life and life can communicate to self. This is a two-way communication. Let's see the communication between life and self in more detail. First, let's look at the communication from life to self. How does life communicate something to you? How does life make you do something? Is this communication? As I have explained already, the communication medium is a feeling. It's not a language. It's not a message. It's a feeling which only the self can understand. The feeling can only be felt by the self inside that living organism. It cannot be felt by something else which is outside that. Let's take few of the feelings like hunger, thirst, sleep, pain, itching. When body is running out of energy and it wants to refuel, it creates a feeling called hunger. When you feel hungry, you will automatically search for food and eat. If you put all the feelings in a nutshell, we can distinguish the feelings into two types, good and bad. When life wants you to do something, it controls you by making you feel good and bad. Hunger. Hunger is a negative feeling. It drives you to do something. When you take the food and feed, the life makes you feel good. When you are chewing the food, you will feel the taste. The taste is also a feeling, and that feeling makes you good. But when you are hungry, it's kind of a painful feeling which makes you bad. So the life is communicating with you to refuel the body with food, and it is motivating you to do this with good and bad feelings. Similarly, thirst. When it wants water, it makes you feel a thirsty feeling. When you are thirsty, it motivates you because it's a painful feeling. And when you take the water, the body can leave you like that without any additional feeling, but it makes you feel good. So you will get accustomed to this good and bad feelings, and you will behave like a trained animal in the circus. How do you train a wild animal? You can only train the wild animal by making it feel good or bad. You cannot communicate with it through a language. because it doesn't understand the language. It understands only feelings. The very basic language is feeling, not words. So when you want to train the animal, you will give a command. If the animal obeys to make the animal obey the command, you will make it feel bad by beating it, by causing pain or something, or starving it or something like that. But when the animal obeys your command, you will give some food or something to make it feel good. So the animal gets your message. So when it feels something bad, it obeys your command, and when it obeys your command, it gets something good. So the message is understood by the animal. Similarly, here the self is like an animal in circus, and life is like a trainer. It trains the self to do something at its will by making you feel good or bad. To refuel the body, you just need to eat the food and swallow it. That's it. Your job is done, and life will take care of the task of digesting and refueling the body. It's not your problem, because the life is different and you are different. Your only job is to eat. Life will take care of the rest. If these are not two different entities, it would be your job to monitor the energy level in the body and eat, digest everything, and keep your heart running, keep your breathing running even while you are asleep. Since you don't know anything about maintaining the rhythm in the body, I came to this conclusion that life and self are different. The life cannot go on without maintaining and repairing itself every day. So, to maintain and repair itself, the body needs to rest. If the body doesn't rest, the life cannot repair and maintain. So, as long as the self is active, the body doesn't rest, because the self keeps on moving here and there and eating food, doing so many other things. So to deactivate the life, to deactivate the self, the life creates a feeling of sleep. So whenever you will feel asleep, you feel the feeling of sleeping, automatically you will go and sleep. You cannot do it at your will. That's why so many people are suffering from sleeplessness. If they could do it at will, why do they suffer from sleeplessness? Sleep is a feeling created by life to repair and maintain itself. When you sleep and wake up, you will feel very relaxed, very good feeling. So here the life is rewarding you with a good feeling to motivate you to obey the command of life. When you keep your hand in fire, you will feel tremendous pain. Immediately you will pull away the hand. This pain is a signal that there is some damage going on to your body, and you are responding to it with taking out your hand. The life cannot do response to stimuli. The life can only maintain the rhythm. It can make your heart beat. It can digest the food and maintain the body. But it doesn't have the ability to res- give response to stimuli. So this response to stimuli is done by the self. Here, when you keep your hand in fire, it is producing a feeling which is pain. The pain indicates that there is something going on bad to the human body, and you will automatically respond by taking out your hand. This taking out of hand is response to stimuli which is done by the self, not by life. This is the reason I took out the response to stimuli function from my life definition. In all the mainstream life definitions available today, the response to stimuli is included, but in my definition I have taken it out. When there are so many other feelings that life creates to enslave the self in the body, it is essentially enslaving the self by good and bad feelings, like itching. When there is something, itching is a feeling. When you feel it, you will go and itch. When you itch, life makes you feel good. When you don't to make you itch, it gives a painful feeling. There are so many feelings and so many reactions that life creates to maintain itself. Feeling of cold, feeling of hot are also the feelings created by life to maintain the rhythm inside the body. Just sit and think about the feelings in your body and your response to it. When you analyze a bit in deep about the feelings and this response, you will understand that you are nothing but a slave to the life living in this body. If you are still not convinced with my idea of life and self being totally different independent entities, you just try to do two things. Try to sneeze or cough at will and try to sleep at will. You will understand whether the life and self are different or not. Now let's see the communication from self to life. Till now we have seen the communication from life to self, how life is controlling self by positive and negative feelings. Here we are looking at the communication from self to life, how life is reacting to the feelings of self. In both ways, the communication medium is feeling, not a language. So, when you want to tell something to life, you feel it. When life wants to tell you something, you will feel it. So, when you think, nothing will happen. When you feel, something will happen in your body. That is the basic difference between thinking and feeling. There are so many feelings that human mind or human self creates. Basically, again, all the feelings are two types, good and bad. For each feeling, the body reacts differently. When you feel anger, your heartbeat jumps. The heart keeps pumping more blood to the outer parts of the body, and it keeps the blood level very minimum to the internal organs to just retain the rhythm running. It produces several hormones like adrenaline, which brings up your body in an attack mode, or it's called fight or flight reaction. Either you fight to survive, or you will fight, you will escape to survive. All the changes in the body that are happening are the response created by life for a feeling, something which you felt in your mind. If it was just a thought, the body wouldn't produce any changes in it. Since it was a feeling, it responded to your command. When you feel sad, you will get tears. It is again a biochemical reaction given by the body. When you feel happy, body responds. Sometimes when you feel extremely happy, you will get tears. But when you taste the tears, the taste would be totally different from the tears you will get when you feel sad. When you feel good, the body feels good. When you feel bad, the body feels bad. I mean, the rhythm, the life. When you are in a good and happy mood, the rhythm in the body beats at a harmonious pace. When you are not happy, when you feel depressed, when you feel anger, the rhythm beats in an harmonious way. So, the negative feelings kill the body performance, they disturb the rhythm. The positive feelings, they improve the harmony in the rhythm. The body is a reflection of mind. This statement is just a reflection of the feelings in the body which manifest in a biochemical reaction. When you feel something, it creates some biochemicals, and those biochemicals change the state of the body. These chemicals produced by the body have ability to destroy or construct the life. When people hear very sudden shocking news, sometimes their heart stops all of a sudden and they die. This is a response created by the body to the feeling created by self. When self is extremely disturbed, it it communicates with the life, and life reacts in the same way by changing the pace of the life to extremes, because the self is having an extreme feeling, so it takes the rhythm to highest available frequency, and when the frequency changes to deviate from the mean value to very high, sometimes it collapses. When the rhythm collapses, it can never be restarted. This is a typical example of the communication from self to life. So beware of your negative feelings. The negative feelings has an ability to destroy the life, disturb the rhythm in your body. Similarly, the positive feelings have the ability to reconstruct the body. My take of the idea of life can answer some of the unanswered questions till now by the science or the religion. I have already told you about the negative emotions and their reactions by the body. When you feel great shock suddenly, your heart can stop instantly and you can die. So this is an established fact. An extreme negative emotion can kill you. This we know, but what we don't know is an extreme positive feeling can make you live. When you have a extreme positive feeling, some strange biochemicals are injected into your body which can heal you or which can make you live in a dire events. There are so many cases of cancer survival stories in which people survived from very hopeless circumstances which an average human being wouldn't survive, but they have survived, and there is no clear explanation how they survived or how they cured themselves. There are some very inspiring stories of survival of soldiers who were badly wounded or injured in the battle, but still they survived for so long, which is difficult to explain by normal medical terms. All this is possible because life has a great ability and so many hidden abilities inside it, which can only invoke by a strong positive emotion, a strong positive feeling. When you have a strong will to survive, no matter what the situation is, the life will rebalance itself and tries to survive. But when you don't have any will to survive, the life doesn't try to keep the rhythm going, because when you don't wish, the life will not try to keep the rhythm going, because you don't wish it to do so. But when you wish it to do so with a strong will, it can make you survive. This point answers the placebo effect. There is a so-called placebo effect in which the the patient gets a sugar pill and he is told that it can cure diabetes, it can cure high blood pressure or something like that. When he took the pill and believed that it can cure, it cured the disease, even at least temporarily. There are so many stories of cancer survival like this. You can Google about placebo effect and you can find it. But till now there is no clear cut medical explanation how the placebo effect works. When you feel that you are getting cured, the body, the life in the body reacts to it by curing itself. But it doesn't react when you just say, I want to cure myself, because it doesn't understand the words. It only understands your emotions and feelings. When you feel strongly that you are getting cured, you will get cured, because the life gets the message and implements it. It reacts to it. The secret to self-healing is a feeling. You just feel that you are getting cured. You will definitely get cured if you have a strong will by yourself, because the life is intelligent enough to maintain and balance the rhythm all by itself. It doesn't need anything external to maintain or balance the rhythm. If you don't have If the life doesn't have the ability to maintain the rhythm, it wouldn't have survived so long from the origin of life. It is all our illusion that a drug is curing the disease, but it is actually the life which is curing the disease. The drug is only aiding the life in curing the disease. When you experience strong negative emotions like anger, depression for a prolonged time, slowly it will turn up into a disease in the body, because the body keeps on reacting to your negative emotions slowly, and it gets accumulated as a disease. So a disease can also be purely a product of your negative emotions. But still, there are so many unanswered questions about life. I am still thinking about them and will present them in the next video. Can the life live without self and self survive without life? Let's see in the next video.